Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This video is a little bit different and it goes along with a few questions that I've been asked by members that want to get over somebody. They're not a member because they want to get back with their ex, they are a member because they want to get over them. And in any case, getting over somebody is not a bad idea. Even if you're trying to manifest somebody back, getting over them is a good thing really, because what you're doing is getting over the previous relationship. So you can follow this video in two different ways. One, if you are just trying to get over somebody in general, you don't particularly want them back, but you are devastated, you feel rubbish all of the time and you want to know how you can get past that, then this is for you. And it's also for you if you want to get over your past relationship in order to manifest a new relationship with that person, but you're looking at the person at the moment as the past relationship and you want to get over that. How do you do that? Because at the moment you're vibrating missing, you're vibrating sad and all of that stuff that you don't want. So in order, first of all, let's look at missing somebody. You are missing somebody. How do you get over that? How do you stop missing them? Okay. First of all, missing somebody is completely natural. When you split up with somebody you've been with for a while, that you've been in love with, and it's over, you are going to miss them. So you firstly accept, okay, at the moment I'm missing them and I'm feeling it. And as you feel it, that feeling is a vibration, and that vibration goes out to whatever this magic is and brings it back to you. So you just get more of that. And then this goes on and on and on. So how do you stop that? You find the feeling of being free inside of you. What is that feeling? If I was free of missing them, how would I feel? And you find it, and it's a fake feeling because you're not going to feel it. I'm going to tell you a story about what I did once. And I've only ever forced myself to do anything once in my life because I don't really like that force. And that was before that I was into this, and I didn't do it along the lines of the law of attraction. I just did it. I'll tell you about it in a minute. So you're trying to change your vibration on a regular basis. So every time you have that missing feeling, you keep faking this feeling of being free, just feeling free and being happy in your own company. And all of that has vibration. So you have to look inside for it. And if you're here and you're not into the law of attraction, have a practice of that and go to my website, email me if you're a bit stuck, because this is not necessarily for just people that are into the law of attraction. This works for everybody because, as you know, missing is a feeling. So you need to change that feeling on a regular basis. You need to be consistent with it, persistent with it. It will change and you will change the way that you feel. And I'm going to just tell you a little story which isn't like I said, it's not a law of attraction story, although it kind of is, I guess, but it's something that I did years ago. So in my early 20s, I was engaged, and I had been engaged for 4 years, and I knew this relationship wasn't quite right. He wasn't really right for me, but we lived together and we had a very close-knit family thing going on. He got on extremely well with my family, and my brother was one of his best friends. Not before I came along, I introduced them and then they became really, really good friends. So we had all of that going on. So it's quite difficult to walk away from that. But I had a gut feeling that he was seeing somebody else. And now I know, always trust your gut, always trust your intuition. And I had this feeling. And I think throughout the relationship, he probably had lots of little flings. I think he was just that kind of person, but this, I just felt that it was something more serious. I don't think that I brought that into, I think probably my underlying feelings about him are what contributed to this happening. But anyway, it never came to light, as in he would never admit it. Whatever happened, he would not admit, but I knew because people had seen him and I was hearing all of this stuff. And toing and froing, I would sort of leave, I would come back, I would leave, I would come back. I never really intended to fully leave because I thought, I kept talking myself into the fact that maybe it wasn't true. Anyway, eventually it became so blatantly obvious that it was true that I just couldn't stay there. Because it was embarrassing to stay with somebody like that for any longer, really. I thought, because all of my friends knew, everybody knew. And I kind of left, and I left half-heartedly, really. I left because I felt like I would be just such a loser if I stayed. At the time, in my early 20s, I thought, I knew it was true. Anyway, so I went back home and I was absolutely gutted and I was crying my eyes out one night because one of my friends had called me and said that they had seen him with this other person. And I was just so upset because it had all sort of hit me like a ton of bricks, really. I was so upset, and my dad said to me, "Oh, you'll be over it in a couple of months, you will." And I got really cross with him because I knew that I wasn't that kind of person. I didn't get over things that easily, and I felt things deeply. And I said, "Of course I won't, we've been together for 4 years." And my mum got really cross with my dad, so don't be so ridiculous. And anyway, I was then taking a week off work, so I took that week off, and then I was going back to work on the Monday, and I was filled with dread at all of the people at work that I got on really well with. They're amazing friends to me, that would be trying to make me feel better and feel bad for me and be talking about it and saying, "Oh, but you can do better," and all of that. And I just couldn't face any of that. I really couldn't face it. It just filled me with dread. And I was going into work on the bus, and I just thought, "Oh my God, I can't, what can I do to stop this?" And I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to have a massive smile on my face. I'm going to go about acting as if I really don't give a damn. And so they'll think that I really don't care. And then they won't keep asking me. And I didn't know whether I could do it or not, but that's what I did. I just stuck to that. I religiously went into work with this huge smile on my face. I was extra over the top jolly and, really even more than I usually am. And I'm quite a jolly person anyway. And I was sort of going out of my way to help customers and that kind of thing. As I always did that, but I was doing it more. I was throwing myself into everything, and I had this fake smile on my face all of the time. I was fake joking, fake laughing, and it was painful. The first 2 weeks were absolutely painful, but it did the trick. What I wanted it to do, it stopped people asking me if I was okay and checking in on me and all of that, because they thought that I was fine. So it did that, and I was thinking, well, this is working, doing that, but I kept it up because I didn't want to drop that. And a couple of weeks later, my friend and I were on the till together, and it was a quiet period, and we were having a joke about something, and I suddenly realised that I felt properly happy, and I thought, oh wow, that's weird. How's that happened? It was only 2 weeks later. So I carried on, I persevered with this fake smile, fake happy for another 2 weeks. And I'm not kidding. Within 4 weeks, I was completely over him. I was over him. I was over the relationship in general. I was over the fact that I'd had to go back home. I was over the fact that the family thing had split, and because there were problems between me and my brother because of it, and we'd sorted that out. I was over it all. I didn't care about him at all. I had no feelings for him whatsoever. And I'd say I felt back to normal, but I felt better because all of that time we were together, it probably wasn't right anyway. So I felt 100 times better really than I'd felt before. And I thought, wow. And I actually thought that I was just a little bit shallow, that I wasn't as deep as I thought I was. I thought, well, clearly I don't, I do get over things quick. And I thought it was weird because I never had done in the past, but I didn't really put it down to the fact that I'd faked it until I'd made it. And you can do that. You definitely can. That was 4 weeks. And I'm not kidding. I lost so much weight. I was probably about 9 stone when it happened. And by the time, a couple of weeks later, pretty much I was 7.5 stone, which is absolutely tiny for me. Really, really tiny. I was a lot younger then, so I could get away with being that slim. I couldn't now, but I could. So I lost all of that weight. I couldn't eat anything. I felt sick all of the time. It was horrible. And I kept thinking, I kept obviously being faced with the fact that good, well-meaning friends, and my mum included, would say, oh, they'd seen him with this other person. I didn't want to know that. It didn't help me because I was being bombarded with all of that stuff, and it was horrible. And I really, under normal circumstances, I would have gone into work and I would have felt miserable, and I would have gone with that, and it would have I would have got over it eventually, of course I would, because I knew that really that it wasn't right, but probably would have taken me a few months to get back to some sort of normal. But honestly, a month later, there you go. So you can fake it. And what I was doing was I was bringing myself, by smiling all day like that, acting happy, I was vibrating it. And basically, I would not let feelings in or thoughts in of how we were, of the good times or anything like that, or anything, or the negative stuff, or particularly him with the other person, or anything that affected the smile that was on my face, that would make me drop my smile for any period of time. So I didn't let any of that in. And that's what you have to do, not let that in. And forcing that out can be tricky because our brains are very chattery and they want to keep chucking that stuff in there. It's like a bit of a torture, isn't it? But you literally have to force that out and just persevere. Smile, 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 or, vibrate differently, at the exclusion of all of that stuff. And, like, you will know that I'm not one for forcing things generally, but if you're trying to get over someone, definitely, because you're feeling rubbish anyway, it's not going to make you feel any more rubbish than you already feel. It's going to be weird, really weird, and you'll be in withdrawal of not thinking about those things and not engaging with those sort of negative thoughts about how it happened, why it's all gone wrong, why they're not with you, why they're with somebody else, all of that. It will feel really weird, and you'll want to engage with it to start with, but just stop and think no. Stop and think no. Think, is this serving me? Is this going to serve me? This engagement, is it going to serve me? No, it's not. And then keep flicking it, keep clicking in that new vibration of being free, being happy, being single. It does not mean that the universe is going to tell you that you can't have them back in your life at some point. So I was forcing that vibration, and eventually my subconscious took it that I was happy, and so I was happy. I mean, it seems crazy, and I wouldn't really want to do that now. I wouldn't want to force that, but I would if I was in that situation. If I was trying to get over somebody, I certainly would do that, because I know that it works, and I would think it's worth the pain. I'm in pain anyway, you know, I might as well be in pain forcing something that isn't really there, so that it is eventually there. So you can do it, and that's what flipping your vibration is. So you're finding the feeling inside of you of being free of this, of being happy, and you're feeling that, and you're doing it every single time that you really feel overwhelmed by that missing feeling, in that upset feeling, that devastated feeling even. You swap it for the feeling of being free and feeling better, and you just keep doing it, and it will feel rubbish at first, and of course it will feel fake to you, but don't think of it like that. Don't think of it like you're pretending to be something you're not. Think of it like a practice, and when you've done it enough, you will feel better, and it will just speed up that process of getting over that person. It can at least half the time, and probably more so than that. Depends how much staying power you have. When I did it and didn't know about it, I had so much staying power because I did not want to be bombarded with, are you okay? Are you okay? How are you feeling? Oh, he's not worth it, and all of that. I couldn't face any of that. I wanted to get on with my life, and I wanted to get over it. And I knew that I couldn't get over it with people talking to me about it all of the time. So I did it for no other reason than that, but it completely worked. And now I understand that more. I understand that I was changing my vibration. Yes, I was forcing it, but eventually it didn't feel forced, and it wasn't that long before it didn't feel forced. It's a little bit different when you're trying to bring somebody back into your life, which is why if you are really angsty over the split with somebody and you're trying to force manifestation, bringing them back, it won't happen when you're trying to force it. So look at it this way: getting over something is not meaning that you're telling reality that you don't want a new relationship. You are just getting over this relationship, and it can be done. And then you start from scratch, and you get back to a point where you are starting from a point with no resistance whatsoever. And you might get to that point and think, actually, I want something new now. I don't want this anymore. And that's brilliant. Or you get to a point and you think, now I'm at the point where I can manifest them back, but manifest a different relationship with them because I've let go of all of that stuff. I'm completely over that stuff. So it's not a bad thing to do. It's not, you're not confusing the universe or anything like that, because what you're doing is everything comes from you, and you know what you want. So as long as you know what you want, that's all that matters. There's no outside entity, as far as I'm concerned, that is getting confused about what you want. It's only your confusion. If you're confused, then yes, reality will be confused, and you will then it will be reflected back to you in a confused, as to how you're feeling. So if you get straight in your mind about what you want, I want to get over this in order to manifest, and I will probably try to manifest a new relationship with this person. But if I decide after this point that I don't want to, then the choice is mine. And when the choice is yours, you feel completely empowered. And yes, this can be done. And even if you're not into the law of attraction, if you found this video by typing in something like how to get over your ex, have an open mind. And when you are feeling missing, you can feel that's a feeling inside of you, isn't it? It's a really strong emotion. And just think to yourself, I don't have to be into the law of attraction. I can think this is a pile of nonsense, but I'm going to try this because I feel rubbish at the moment anyway. And all I'm doing, if you don't know much about the law of attraction, it's a difficult one, because if you've come here and you're not into the law of attraction, and then you start being into it, thinking, oh wow, I can manifest them back, I would still suggest that you try, if you are in that really resistant state, you can just build more and more resistance. I would still suggest that you get over them first, and then you have the choice. It's all yours. There's no resistance there. There's no attachment. You are at that point where you can think, do I want them back or don't I? Can you really be sure about whether you do or you don't? Because sometimes when we don't get over the loss of a relationship, we don't grieve it, we get stuck in this manifesting cycle, and we're maybe doing it not for the wrong reasons, because there is no wrong or right reason, but because we haven't given ourselves that time and space to really let the split settle and to really think about what was good about the relationship and what was bad about it. Do I really want this back? I would do that because I know it works. I've done it, and it was painful for a little while, but not that long. So if you're in pain anyway, might as well swap that pain. It's not going to be any worse. You will feel, if you've never heard about the law of attraction, or you have and you think it's nonsense and all of that, you will for a bit think that you're lying to yourself. But you're not trying to pretend that you feel great right now and put on this false front, although you are, but you're doing it in order to eventually feel better. So you're doing it with an end goal in mind. And if you can do it like that, then it really can work. Honestly, look, I've had that experience, and to be over a 4-year relationship in 4 weeks, and like I've said, it wasn't just him. I mean, I knew deep down that we weren't right for each other, but you know, we often know that, don't we, in relationships? It doesn't mean that we walk away. People plough on for years and years knowing that something isn't quite right, and I didn't intend to leave. Before all this happened, I wasn't intending to split the relationship out. I probably knew deep down that there wasn't complete longevity in it, but at the time it was a fairly easy relationship. You know, like I said, we had the family thing going on. He was really good friends with my brother, and there was a lot of positive things about it. Obviously some major negative things that I was pushing to one side, but there were a lot of positives about it. So it wasn't as if I was letting go of a really horrible relationship, and you know, there was a lot of good things that I was having to let go of as well, and I did it. So can you. And like I said, if you've never been here before and you've come to this channel by accident, then please do go to my website and ask me any questions, because I'm also a relationship writer, and that is not based along the lines of the law of attraction. That is completely separate to that. So I hopefully will be able to help you, and I won't charge you for that. I might take a week or so to get back to you because I am busy, but you know, I will definitely have a chat with you and give you a little bit of bespoke advice. But if you are here because you are a follower of this channel, or you know, you're into the law of attraction, then please do consider getting over the relationship, because honestly, you will just then start from a point of better. Some of you just won't be able to get your head around that, but if you've come here, then maybe you are thinking about that. But you know, a lot of my members, they can't even get their heads around trying to get over it, because they do feel that the universe is going to misunderstand and think that they don't want this person anymore. I can absolutely assure you that's not how this works, because it's all about you and what's coming from you. Nothing is making decisions for you and deciding whether you're worthy or you really want something or anything like that. It's all coming from you, and as long as you know what you want, that's all that matters. I think if you feel rubbish right now, really, really rubbish, and you're knotted up with feelings, maybe they're seeing somebody else or stuff is going on, and you are really knotted up about that, what have you got to lose? Because you will start from a better point. It does take staying power. I have to be honest, it does, and it takes real self-discipline. But if you think about it, look, that was a 4-year relationship for me, and I got over it completely in 4 weeks. It seems crazy when I think about it now, because I know how I felt when that split, when that ended, and what I was like, and the fact that I just couldn't eat anything, and it was horrible, completely horrible. And to think that I could really get over that I remember going, after the first few days, I was going to watch Bon Jovi in concert with my friend, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the concert. It was the first one I think that I'd been to of theirs, and it was amazing, but it was tinged with this gut-wrenching feeling all day long that I had, and it just wouldn't go away. It was a constant vibration within me of just gutted, I suppose, really, really gutted and a bit lost, you know. And I kind of wish that I could go back to that day and not have that feeling there, because it kind of like didn't ruin it, because it was still a really good day, but it was just there. And to feel that completely went within 4 weeks seems amazing to me now. But you can do it, it can be done. It's just a thought, you know. If you're into the law of attraction, you're trying to manifest them back, you haven't had any success, you've been going on for a few months like this, what have you got to lose? Nothing is going to get confused. Believe me, all that can happen is you can feel better. Anyway, if you haven't been here before, then I would love for you to subscribe if you found anything of interest that you might be able to help you in the future. That would be amazing if you subscribed. I'm a writer, I'm an author. Pop along to my website and see. My latest book isn't actually on the website at the moment, and I keep saying that, and I just haven't got around to putting it on, but I will. I'll try and do that today, but it is available on Amazon. So I also have a members area, which is £5 a month, and you get to interact with me on a regular basis as often as you like, but you also get tons of modules. I think we've got about 107 in there now. Tons of really helpful stuff, videos, modules, affirmations, loads and loads of things, and you can cancel that subscription at absolutely any point, as long as you give me 5 days notice before your next payment is due, because it will just come out then anyway. Then you can cancel at any point. There's no tie-in period at all.